But the last thing is the judgments. Okay, so just like I said before, that at the end of the day, when I look at things now, I don't say it's good and I don't say it's bad either. I just observe it. I add it to what I know. I calculate it. I put that into perspective and I keep it moving. And the reason why you want to do that is because when you hold on anything and you stick on that, you now put a beam into it. Like you're kind of putting power into it. Okay. Even for that moment that you're focused on it, it's giving light to it because you could focus on anything. So anything you think about for one moment, you've stopped there to focus and you're now pushing energy directly into it. So what happens is that the ancients talked about in order to get out of all of this, to get beyond the rainbow. Like I said, somewhere over the rainbow. Okay, so they're really talking about to get over the bridge and to get into the area where there's no scarcity. Okay? To do that, you need to cross the rainbow. And the rainbow, as it's depicted, let's say in this mythology, has 7 colors. Those 7 colors then check out to being archonic forces. Basically, 7 trials that you will need to go through, 7 elements, etc., that you will need to gain the knowledge, wisdom, and experience of in order for you to go through. And that's actually what we're experiencing in life right now in the prism, because we're seeing all the variations that these 7 colors can create. And we're just using those notes or those terms and these numbers just for examples. Okay. So the next level then is what it's explaining to us is that these also are divisions, because we have to admit that anytime we say a word, the whole embodiment of word, thus sound, thus frequency, thus shape, and thus color, because that's the universal language, right, is to divide. And we've now started to learn, just the powers and the weaknesses in division at this point. So we're still like learning. This is a university. But what still happens though is when you say a word, when I say cup, I don't mean dog. So I've divided cup from the rest of all the other stuff. So words are forms of division. That's why they're swords. Same thing with colors though. Words are sounds, really, not just words. They're sounds. Sounds cut. They're not like the other sounds when you make a sound, if that makes sense. So what I'm showing you is in the physical plane, everything is shaping, molding, and fashioning and cutting. So in order to get out of this, you have to get into the ability of not doing that. Now, since shaping, forming, fashioning, and cutting is judging, because that's what you're doing, distinguishing one from another, you have to get into a point where you don't judge. And this is where real power is. That's why they call it Zen. Because now what you do is somehow your mind, it gets into a neutral, not the flow, not to be confused with the flow, but a neutral, to where it's never impeded. So it's speeding through experience, thoughts, and everything so rapidly, it's only gleaming the energy associated with it, not the clip hook, not the drama, not all of the lag and the drag, not the density. You see what I mean? So I'm just explaining where the depth mind is when it's in that stage. And through that, you can cross through the prism. You can leave out of the prism. It never even knows you're there. However, if you come to the prism, the hebdomad, the first gate, and you have judgments, it will not only see you, it will devour you. Because that's what judgments do. The moment you make one, you become, it's like cause and effect. So you get the effects. Listen to what I'm saying. So if you never judge, there's no effects. And what I'm telling you right now is not just in the mind of good people and bad people, but there's also neutral people who know how to do this. And through that, then you can escape the second death. Okay? Because since we're studying occultism here, it's important that I explain to you the second death that's being referred to in esoteric lore is the loss of your memories. It's actually a point within all ancient texts when crossing over that they explain that you either become all-knowing, this means you keep your knowledge and then join that knowledge in with all the knowledge there is, or you lose the knowledge. You drink the cup of forgetfulness and then you wander through sticks until you reincarnate. So basically what's being said, to make this simple, because it's not really occult, hidden, meaning hidden, is if you go in and you judge, right away you're going to be wiped based on just those judgments, and then you're going to come back through the whole thing again. If you don't judge, you're now then symbolically merging with everything, right? Because now there's no differentiations. And in that, you not only keep all your memories, because nothing can be taken from you, because where would they put it? But also nothing can be given to you, because where would they get it? You break the paradox. That's the prism. See, the reason why this is so hard for us is because the prism is a paradox. It embodies it. They call it paradise. A pair of dice. It's a parallel. There's another world. Like all of the dualities that exist go on in paradise. Hell was pleasing last time I read about it in the ancient books. It wasn't made to be a place that you knew you were in hell. It was made to be a place that you would forget you were in hell. And that's what I was saying about earlier. Remember the cup of forgetfulness earlier, about how what happens here, we really can start to, I'm getting kind of caught up on words, but what happens here is you really can start to see that we don't know what it's like to really be free and really be completely tuned into one another. So we just suppose that because we can use internet and we're not taking mortar fire right now, that everything's gravy and that our life is not worse than those people. But the only way we would know that is if we seen what we were before. And then we would know we're all being cheated. You see? So that's what's up.